Scratch on the Road. We are here at the farm at Old World Garden. This is episode 7, and I am Sarah.
And I'm Bree, and this is Jim and Mary Competti, and they are joining us today on our podcast. And I actually have known about them for several years. Actually, when I was in college, my husband read their blog.
Crazy.
And I followed their Facebook page, and you guys gave my husband a bunch of crazy ideas that I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, but here we are. So welcome, and thank you guys for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having and coming to the farm today. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Beautiful day.
It is, absolutely. I mean, we couldn't have ordered a day
I know.
more perfect than this. Absolutely wonderful.
We're down here at the pavilion by the pond, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. We'll get into more of the outline of what the property looks like, everything that they offer, but I want to ask Bree first. So I recognize this brand, their name, from I don't even know what year it was, but you sponsored our county fair.
I think it's when we first moved here.
Okay.
We just wanted to do something for the community. Yeah, correct.
And we were looking for a place to hold our very first Christmas market, and we needed a big enough space, right? And really pretty. Like, we just had this whole concept in mind, and Bree was just like, well, what about this place? And how did you even find it?
So it was because of following their Facebook page, and it came up, and I was like, oh my God, that place is pretty. I wish that was around here. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at it, and I was like, does that say Quaker City? And I was like, just shocked, first of all. And then, so I saw that you guys had your open house, and then I was like, let's just ask them. I was like, let's just see what they say. And we came out here, and that was the first time seeing this place, and it just blew us away.
Yeah, it was beautiful. They gave us the tour, and I can't believe, so that was, when was that last year?
That was right after the fair, so like September-ish.
And it's now May, and it has grown so much since
Yes.
the very first time we were out here.
Yes, it was beautiful then, and it's transformed even more into an even more beautiful space, which I just don't, every time we come out here, it's more and more beautiful. I don't know how you guys do
Bree
it.
said there's going to come a time where she's just not going to leave.
Yeah, I'm just here now.
You can stay permanently.
Oh, thanks.
We
You heard
like
it.
we like to hear that. We want people to come back, and every whether it's any guest, Airbnb or somebody has host something here or an event we host, we like to hear it looks different because that means we're growing.
Yeah.
So tell us, what did you guys think when we approached you about the Christmas market? Are you guys just like open to crazy ideas, or?
I think since starting the blogs way back in our the beginning of what kind of built this, we've been approached 1,000 times by 1,000 crazy ideas. We come up with our own crazy ideas. So you were fitting right in with what we thought, and honestly, we kind of pictured that when we got. I remember your email coming through, and we talked about it. We're like, wow, what a great way, to also support the community and to support you guys, but also to bring people here to learn about the farm in a fun environment. And man, I remember that day. It was fantastic. I'm glad the snowstorm came after everybody left.
Yes, it truly was.
Yeah.
I mean, we planned and prepped and worked and hoped that it was going to turn out, and I know it exceeded my expectations.
I was so overwhelmed, I got a migraine.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I got an ocular migraine. I was like, I don't know.
We've added probably twice the amount of parking since last year, and we always use your event as a reference. Like, whoa, I don't know if we can get that many cars here again. I just remember Mary on the radio to me said, there are no more spaces. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? Like, we just started parking them down the street. But everybody was in such a good mood, and I think they understood, and people find a way, right? And they enjoyed it, and they loved your vendors. I mean, I think your vendors were fantastic that day.
A lot of them sold out quickly.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They did. And we're bringing the Christmas market back to the farm at Old World Garden December 5th.
Yes.
Is our Christmas market date, and I mean, I've been looking forward to this year since last year, so I'm excited, and it's going to be better than ever, I know. So
A lot of people in the community didn't know about this space, and now they do.
Yes. It was a nice, I think, at the time, they kind of really didn't know about us, and they kind of didn't really know about you, and then when we joined forces and everybody came out here, everybody was like, oh my God, this is wonderful, and it was so full of like Christmas spirit, and everybody was just so like in such a nice mood, and
you're absolutely right. That was one thing we talked about. The mood was just really good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, very good.
Now we need to know your story.
Oh.
So tell us how we got to
So we got excited, and now we're going to be bored.
Yeah. No. So tell us how we got to this point.
Oh, wow. I guess let's start with the websites, right? I mean, so we were, you tell the story about us being typical. I don't know if we were typical, raising 4 children at the time, but we were.
We lived in typical suburbia where we had 4 kids, middle school, just starting high school, and running what we always call the rat race of life. Passing each other, taking kids to one event or another event, and going through a drive-through to eat because we didn't have time to make meals. So we finally just one night talked about it.
It was 2010, and we both had our professional jobs, and you're right, we were busy.
Yeah, and we decided that this is not how we wanted to raise our kids. We wanted our kids to kind of have a childhood like ours, where they knew where their food came from and they knew activities outside of sports or drama or whatever they were doing.
Sure.
So, family unit. And so then we came up with an idea.
Well, that was kind of an accident. We decided there was a little 3-acre plot of land. I should say this was over towards Newark and Zanesville, about an hour away from here.
Okay.
Little 3-acre plot of land. It was kind of overgrown. We had it for a while, and we're like, why don't we go and maybe build a little chicken coop, have some chickens, a garden, and show our kids that.
Right, and we couldn't have a garden where we lived before because
no, not at all.
We had a big enough yard, but we had so many deer right in our backyard. Yeah. So we had to try to find an alternate route to make sure that happened.
Yeah, so we built a chicken coop in the driveway of our suburban neighborhood, much to the chagrin. Everybody thought we were going to keep it there. I had to tell them. Oh yeah, I had to tell everybody this is going out to the farm.
Yes.
We called that the farm.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was just a way to start it. Everybody at my work. Around wherever I'd go, and Mary, they're like, what are you guys doing?
They thought we were crazy.
Yeah, you have your professional careers. What are you doing? Our kids, for the most part, were okay with it, except Wes. Wes was our one of the middle children, and I love his statement.
He said, okay, I'm okay with this until you start making my own jeans. Don't have to worry about that, Wes.
He did, but long story short, just to make it, kind of put it together, we did that, and we thought, why don't we write about this and create a little, blogs were big at the time, or they were just becoming big, and we'll post some pictures so our family and friends can see what we're doing and that we're not crazy. And I think also just to kind of maybe chronologize it for us in the future, and we would know, hey, we could look back and see what we did. So that was 2010. It started with an article about a chicken coop in the driveway, I think I wrote, and then you wrote an article about
salsa.
Yeah, about her homemade salsa. And we woke up one day, and that was hilarious.
Yeah, somebody from North Carolina started following our blog, and we're like, who would care to follow us? That somebody we didn't know. And we're like, okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah. So fast forward, Mary and I are very competitive people in a good way. We like to do it. So we have 10 followers now. When we would keep writing, and somebody would write in and ask us to do, how about an article about this? Or Mary, do you have a recipe for this? And I think we got to, I remember the day, I kind of laugh now. We got to 1,000 followers, and we're like, wow, that's 1,000 followers. That's kind of crazy. And you wrote an article about something, and we got off, it was strawberry jam.
Strawberry honey jam.
And we were taking a flight at the time to see Mary's parents in Florida, and we got off, and we just it blew up. By blow up at the time, we thought that was. I think it had 10,000 views, and we were like, oh, wow, and our follower list grew. So again, trying to shorten it up, by 2014, we just did this for fun. We would wake up before our work jobs. We would write 3 articles a week for Old World Garden Farms, and they would be 2 recipe, 2 garden articles, and then Sunday we called it the Sunday Farm Update of what we were doing. And by 2015, I want to say there was close to 1 million followers, and Google and WordPress kicked us off their free site. That really was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Right, they just said that we were too big, had too many followers for them to keep providing the space for free. So we're like, okay, what do we have to do?
Yeah.
They're like, well, you're going to have to get your own server. And at that time, we didn't know what a server was or how expensive it was.
Okay.
So we started looking into it, and it was...
It was about $1,000 a month. And remember, we're doing this for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just doing. We had never made a penny doing it. But 2015 and 16 were a pivotal year. So they said, well, here's the deal. You're big enough that you can qualify for some advertising, which would offset that cost and probably make you a little bit of money. So we're like, okay, we'll do this. And I remember we woke up, the first night we had ads on that site. I think we made $10.17.
Right.
And what did we say?
It's $10.17 we didn't have yesterday.
True. That's a fact.
But then somebody approached us about writing a book. So we wrote our first book. And then the blogs grew doubled in size. I think by the end of that year at 16, we had a couple million followers. And it just kind of grew. And so by 2017, I had started a garden-only site, and you had started a recipe-only site. So we had 3 sites. Something had to give.
So we looked at each other and were like, okay, someone's going to have to retire, and I volunteered.
I lost that battle. So, and I worked a lot around the country, so Mary could travel with me and write. Our kids at that point were starting to get out into college. And that year, because she was concentrating on it, it doubled again. So I'm like, okay, guess what?
My turn.
I'm following. So we did, and then I think probably the best thing we ever did was 2000 going into 18, the end of 18. We took 1 year off, which is crazy. You talk about crazy ideas.
Now 1 year off just from being on the farm.
Yeah, from just
We
being
still
on our
wrote.
old farm. We we bought a teardrop camper and did all 50 states. We just left for a year.
We're coming back for a second part of the podcast. We're going to talk about that.
Oh, it was the best thing. It was the best thing we ever did because it
Absolutely.
gave us ideas and we saw all the things that we wanted to build.
Yes.
And we came back, 19 to 20,
20, yeah.
to this 3-acre farm that we had no ability to put things up.
Right. So
It's too
we
small.
decided that, we wanted to be close. Our parents were more elderly at the time, and we wanted to be close enough that we could get home to them. So we took a
Yeah, we
pin on a
did.
map,
I still remember
1
this.
hour away from where we currently live, and say, let's find another place somewhere within that hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
we looked everywhere.
We did.
That hour took us from Newark. We could go down to Athens. We looked at land there. We looked at land up north. Just everything never fit right. And we came here, and we couldn't pronounce the name of the road.
No, we didn't.
and it was overgrown. It had been vacant for a while. There was quite a bit of things we would have to remove it, and you had to take some vision because what you see today was not there.
No, not at all.
And so that was 2020 when we purchased the land late in the fall. 21 we spent an entire year cleaning up really, and then we started building in 22.
Yes.
With the vision of, you have to understand, like for us, we've always been our websites and our books are not local. No one really knew. We had local followers, like you found us and like, oh my gosh, you're here. We would get that all the time, but we never had a local presence, and we missed that.
Right, and we wanted to provide something that other people could enjoy the space along with us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we get visitors from all over that have followed the blogs for years. They might be on I-70 coming from the East Coast or from California or wherever, and they'll stop by and say, can they have a tour? But now it's kind of nice to have a place where everybody can come, and people always ask us, like, what's the next thing? Well, we knew from our travels around the country that we wanted to build a place that had a lot of spaces that people could enjoy as a group or as individuals.
Right, everybody enjoys space differently.
Yeah.
I may enjoy sitting by the pond listening to the fountain, and someone, that's not their thing. They want to sit in the woods. So we want to create spaces that everybody could enjoy something unique to themselves on our property.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important too, as somebody who goes some places, especially with kids and different interests. It's nice to have some space to get away from everybody and have some time to yourself sometimes.
Yeah, whether it was your market, I saw people that would go to the market and then maybe sit outside in the chairs or go up by the little our front area with a little fountain. There's lots of areas where people can sit, but I love it now, whether we host an event or we have a weddings here or whatever we have here, watching everybody use the space differently, and that means a lot to us.
Yes.
So,
That's amazing.
yeah, so that's really, and we still write. We ended up publishing 2 books and did tours. That is the one thing we made a pact on, that we will never write a 3rd book. It is a lot of work
Never
to
say
write
never.
books.
Never say never with
No,
us.
never say never. But I think that's on hold at least. Our podcast we started in 21 because of COVID. We used to speak at a lot of home and garden conferences around the country. And we want to be here more, and also COVID kind of ended that for a while.
Yeah.
We still speak a little bit, but now we can have events here. And we can do that. And the podcast gave us a chance to still talk to people. And another thing that it grew on its own without us really. I mean, it's organic. We try to be who we are, not anything we're not, right?
Right.
I mean, we mess up.
A lot. But that's okay. We enjoy the process as much as the end result. We enjoy working at it every day and having fun with it every day. And something that we always do every single day is that we always have what we call our morning meeting, which is really just having a cup of coffee outside, talking about what we're going to do that day, and then we always find a spot in the middle of the day to have lunch. And it could be down here at the pond, it could be up under the party barn, or just on our back porch. But it's always important to us that we have that routine of, okay, how are you doing? How are things going?
Yep.
What's next on the agenda? And then we do the same thing eventually for dinner as well.
Yeah, the minute we stop dreaming, it'll be over.
Yes.
Yes, I think you're right about that. And I think the minute that you stop not enjoying the process or not wanting it to be, sometimes it's like, oh, this is so hard, but you love that too,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
It's like
absolutely.
the hardness when you're not willing to face the hardness, then that's when the
Yep.
dream stops.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that's part of our competitive spirit too. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
it
we'll
is.
get over this. You know?
Yeah, right.
And not every day's, rainbows and roses, but there are days that we are just like, okay, we're going to get through this, and we know the end results, the process is going to be worth it.
Yeah. I mean, we tell everybody that comes here it's a work in progress.
Always. It's always a work in progress.
We'll
never
probably never say it's done.
No.
I would
Yeah.
say. So,
No.
yeah.
But such is life, though, right?
Oh, it's the beauty of it. That's
we're
the beauty of
always
it.
a work in progress. Marriage is always a work in progress. Business is always a work in progress.
Raising
And
kids is a
being
work in
willing-
progress.
Raising
Yes,
kids
yes.
is a work in progress, and being able to step up to the plate and accept those challenges.
Yeah.
That's where life happens, and
Absolutely.
that's where the good stuff happens.
Yeah.
And you guys are such an inspiration to Sarah and I both, just for the marriage and the companionship that you guys have. Like, to be able to be with our husbands, like meeting for breakfast, meeting for lunch, meeting for dinner every day, that is something that is a goal for both of us and something that's very important to both of us as well.
I think people joke with us all the time, like, how do you do that? Because we are
Together
all the
24/7.
time. But it's,
We like each other.
Yeah, and
joke with- go ahead.
it's inspirational
Yes.
to see an older.
yes.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's all right.
You guys are
said
in the
She
next
did only
sta-
point to me.
You
That's
guys are in
okay.
the next stage of
We are.
life.
We are.
Past
We are.
me.
Right.
I'm kind of
Yes.
in the next stage of life past
Oh,
Sarah.
no.
Right.
But
I
it's
feel I'm
inspirational.
in 3 stages past my life. Some mornings when I
Yeah.
wake up, you know.
So sore.
But,
Yeah.
but no, you're absolutely right. And
You guys have been together for a long time.
yeah, and you develop that. I mean, I think we talk about patience.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a patience of Joe.
well, way more than I was in my 20s, my 30s.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell Doug all the time, we homeschool our 3 kids.
Yeah.
And
That takes patience right there,
Definitely.
right?
doesn't it though? But Doug was like, well, what do you think you're going to do when Lorelai, Leo, and Lainey can do school on their
It's
own?
true.
And I was like, well, it's just going to be take your wife to work every day. Sure. And I was like, I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
No, I think that's really cool. And it's something that Doug and I, that's what we're praying for. We're praying we can get to the point
Yep.
where we are, mirroring what you've created. We're definitely not going to do an event center. That is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But, expand land, expand
Sure.
cattle. We'd
Yeah.
love to start we call it ranch school.
Yeah.
Like a little red schoolhouse.
I think that's the biggest thing is that
all
everybody
those things.
follow your own passion.
Yeah.
And your co-op
that's-
that is exactly perfect because every one of those people have that dream. In some shape, some it's just to have an extra income, but they're doing what they love, and others
Yeah.
want to be bigger and want to do it. And yeah, that's great. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that you can do. We talk about the event center. It's funny. I've been saying this a lot, but we're building a 9-acre ornamental grass garden, and it'll be all through the middle of the property. And we're halfway through that process. We started last year. In fact, I just had an email right before I got on here. There's 3,000 plants coming tomorrow, and they wanted to know where to ship them, and we have to put them in the ground. But when that's done, for this county, we are so excited to have something that's it'll be the only one of its kind in the U.S. And we're 2 miles off 70, so we're going to be able to bring in visitors. That's our really dream for this property.
Right.
The event center. Down here, those are all things that can support that dream beyond us.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the event center obviously helps us provide the resources to provide the grassland gardens, but that's what we're really looking forward to is having people from all over, not only the county, all over the state, all over the country, coming and visiting Guernsey County,
Yeah.
saying, wow, I never knew this was here.
Yeah.
So that'll be our final. When we say final,
We'll say
that'll be
final.
our that's our end game right now is to build this out to be that. But in the short term, we love all of this. We love being able to have events here and do our own events here, and those are all things that come together. But at the end of the day, when that garden is there and we have, it also brings jobs. I mean, we've hired people here. We've hired people in the last few weeks, and we will continue to build that. And that is exciting. That's probably even more exciting for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for us, when you guys are able to host the market for us, that's able to generate income
Yes.
for all of our vendors,
yep.
and
Their
that
reach
ha-
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that has been what's been really important for us because, like you said, at the heart of a lot of our vendors is that need to support but want
Sure.
to have that family connection still
Sure.
inside the home. And so I know it just means a lot for both of us to be able to help our vendors to support that and let them have that space to grow and to make money. And because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you have to be able to provide. I mean, that's the thing. When we come up with an idea, you have to make that idea. I think that's probably what separates us. Is it has to support itself.
Yes.
I mean, wow, I mean, it has to.
it has to.
You can't create. You can have the greatest dream in the world, but if it's not going to be financially able to support itself, it's not a good dream.
Right,
You know?
and it's not a good business adventure
yeah.
also.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, so we know we have rentable event spaces.
Sure.
And we know about the gardens and the ornamental grass
Yes,
garden that
yes.
is being built. What else is out here that people might not know about?
Oh wow! So let's start with we have the Pond and Pavilion area you talked about, but behind or in front of us we have our pickleball court, which we're going to have a lot more activity in the coming years because we hope to host some tournaments out
That's
here.
fun.
That would be fun.
And it's great for just visitors to the farm. I love seeing. We're also a harvest host site. So people that are part of the Harvest Host camping program can pull in, and we have electric plug-in, and they can stay the night. It's a whole system. It's really good. But again, we're bringing 2 to 3 campers a night, and most of those people will stop, and the first thing they ask us is, what's the best place to eat? What's to do? So you're bringing more to the county that they can go do. So we have that. We have the Airbnb, and we'll add to that in the future where people can stay. That's booked a lot these days, which is great for us, and we love that. The event space we have, and then we're really excited because now starting this summer, June, July, August, and September, we're hosting a once a month. We just want once a month because we want it to be fun and exciting. We don't want to do it every weekend. It's special,
Yeah.
and so it's a dinner experience, a Sunday supper. So like our first one is the Italian courtyard dinner.
Yeah, that's on June 14th.
Yeah.
And it's just a time, again, to bring people to a different type of activity experience.
Yes.
It's more than just dinner.
Oh, yeah,
It's,
way more than just
Yeah,
dinner.
I mean, there's going to be live music. There's going to be family style serving at the tables. So it's going to be a really nice event, and it's going to be in the courtyard. We do have the backup of the event center just in case of inclement weather.
Yeah, we only sell 120 tickets because if something happens, we want to be able to move anybody.
Smart.
That's our last case scenario, but we love that. But again, when we travel the country and you see these things and you see what people did, here we've already drawn tickets from Wheeling, Canton.
Yeah.
People are coming not just and local. We've drawn a lot of tickets local, and that's fun. And then, like I think for the Italian dinner, we have an accordion artist, and he'll be going through the crowd and doing Italian music and having fun. And then we have a southern supper that'll be out in the field. It'll just be one long table of 120 people.
Out in our
and
meadow.
that'll be a southern meal. So these are things that are people are like, well, what's the dinner? I'm like, that's awesome. And we're going to use. We'll rotate and we'll have different caterers that we can use and bring in because Mary and I do not want to cook for 120 people. But that's fantastic to be able to do that. Again, it's supporting a lot of different things, but for us, it's that camaraderie of having those events. We just hosted prom for the local high school,
This past weekend.
and that was
great.
so fun for us.
It's fun to, again, see all the people taking pictures in different areas. Of course, it's always fun seeing everybody dressed up, and but it's also fun watching the parents, grandparents, siblings go around and to the farm and enjoy the spaces while they waited for the grand announcement coming into prom. So.
Yeah, and we have all the time. We have it this week. There's another prom, and we got emails this week. Can we come out and take pictures? And those types of things. That's what we're here for. Yep, come on out, take them. We don't mind it. I always remember my mom. Yeah. She's like, she would come over or what? About once every few weeks.
Yeah.
When we had our old farm, but we get visitors. We get visitors from the blogs that just stop. And
so it was a Sunday, and traditional Sunday is for family. And so we were having a meal on our back porch, and someone just pulled in that we didn't know was coming. And she's like, "Oh, we came from Nebraska. We were just coming through the area. We're just going to stop by. We found your address. Can we stop by?" And so they did. And his mom was, I think she was like 94 at the time.
Yeah.
She's like, "Are you going to give him a tour on a Sunday?" Like, yes, Mom, that's what we do.
Pop in, Mom, we're going to.
Oh, and she got into it, so
did.
she loved it once you do it. But it's that genuineness to people. We love people. We do.
You can tell. We can tell that you just love people.
And I think you have to have that heart for something like this to be successful, because you guys could have built all this and put this up and then say no when people say, "Can I come take pictures?" You could do that, but instead you open it up, you welcome people, and I think that that's what makes this place really special.
Yeah. As long as everybody understands that I may be in a raggedy T-shirt, my hair might be when they stop by and announce. I'm like, okay.
We do have inside signals. Someone pulls in we don't know, she'll be like, "Your turn." And I'll look at her and she goes, "I have not showered today," or this.
Like, I need to grab a hat or something.
I'll be somewhere.
Fair enough.
But you know what? It is. Why build it if you're not going to share it?
Right. I talked to Bria about this a lot. She had mentioned it's your heart. It really, truly is.
Yes.
Because anybody can contact any building company. Anybody can buy any type of land. Like, people can do that. It takes a very, very special person with that heart to actually provide life into it
Yeah,
and
I like that.
support people and have that heart for community. We talk about it all the time. You know, there's other farmers markets out there. There's other vendors like us out there. But when it comes down to it, people know whose
It's
heart's
the I
in
care.
it.
It's the I care. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
and
that means a lot.
I see that in our vendors. I know you see that in the people that you choose to support.
We saw it in your vendors last year.
Absolutely.
In that short time, just when they came and set up, and we're so excited, and that's the beauty of it.
And I think-
I'm sure
I
that's
think-
the same thing for you guys. It gives you,
Oh,
like,
it
we did
does.
something.
It
And I think
does.
people have to understand too, get to know people.
Yes.
You know, it's not just a table with products. Get to know the people that are providing it. You get the people that are making it, people that support the programs. There's great people everywhere.
Right.
There is.
And
There really is.
And you just, just get to know them, give them a chance.
Yes.
That's the
That's
biggest
why we
thing.
started this podcast. We started it. Bree had said our very first episode. She had said, no one ever asks what your story is.
Yeah.
We're going to be the people to ask.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because when you're standing across the table from the person who was up at 4:00 in the morning prepping their product for you,
Yes.
in their home kitchen with their kids sleeping,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
that
funny
just-
you say that, because when we started Old World Garden way back in the day, this has been about by 2011.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you're like, am I going to run out of things to talk about or write about? For us, it was write about.
Yeah.
And we started a series. Tell us about your farm.
Yes, we
Because
did.
people
Oh,
would
cool.
follow us around,
That's
and I
really
remember
cool.
we did that for a year. And for us, it was great because it was one of the Sundays we could do. But yeah, it was great because you met those people and you realized their story, and then we learned from that,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
huge. And I'm sure you guys do the same from your vendors. As much as you're probably teaching your vendors about business and things to come in, it's also what they're giving back.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. And
yeah.
last year we started, one of our main focuses of the market was having like samples and kids crafts.
Oh, I love
and
that.
we did that. We kind of took that on as the managers last year and put that on. But as the year went on, we saw the vendors doing their own
How
samples
cool is
and
that?
doing their
Yeah.
own kids crafts. And we've now turned that over to them to give them creative control
Oh.
over it because they're better at it than us
way,
anyway.
yeah, way more better.
Yeah.
I would say way more better.
Isn't it amazing the
Yeah.
talents? Like
Oh.
I'm blown away anytime there's an event here and outside people come in, whether it was the prom this past weekend, weddings, watching people decorate or come up with
so
a new
talented.
idea.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
And there we are just taking notes.
Yeah.
Like, wow, well that's pretty cool. What, can I do this? Can I do that? And that's what that beauty is. And I'm sure you guys see that too. So at
Learn
that
something
level.
from everyone.
Yes.
Yes, and I think it's the learn something from everyone instead of competing with them
Yes.
Oh.
or the being jealous of them
Correct.
Absolutely.
where you can grow. Because like you said, a lot of people have a lot of amazing and creative talents, and creativity can be expressed in many ways,
So many different
and
ways.
forms. And being willing to learn from other people and like you said, taking notes and I can implement that and learning together, that's so important and such a good attitude to have. And
Yep.
that's what we preach to our vendors as well. We're like, we want you guys to collaborate.
Yes.
There's a million cookies that you could make. We don't need to make the same cookie.
Yeah.
And so we ask them to differentiate and collaborate. And I think that's where a lot of the magic has happened too.
Yeah.
And people, I think, feel that from the other vendors. We've had vendors want to join us because they came to the market
Oh,
and
that's such a
felt
good
that.
thing. Yeah.
So that's been really big for us too.
I just think the more you help people in that capacity, the better your business is.
Yeah, and just supporting them too when they're like in the very infancy of their businesses.
Yep.
Like so many of our vendors just started their business last year.
That's scary.
And they're
We've all been there.
yeah, it's
We've
very
all been there.
scary. And I'm sure you wish you had a little bit more
Yeah.
support back in the day.
Yes.
And so it's kind of been like our way to kind of support them as they're kind of just,
Yep.
launching their business. And they've really been able to run with it versus maybe struggle for 3 or 4 years instead of.
As opposed to you not helping them because you're worried about your own business, and that
Right,
doesn't
right.
do anybody
Exactly,
any good.
exactly.
Oh, I mean, I can't tell you how many bloggers, how many website people, how many event owners, how many anything that we've kind of done have reached out to us, and like I love talking to them, and I love telling them what we did, and I love. I mean, when we build our cabins, we get from our YouTube channel, we get emails all the time like, I love we built a house that we called the perfect retirement home, and actually Mary's parents now live in it. And I think that thing has, I don't know, 9 or 10 million views. Well,
Wow.
because of that, we get emails all the time like, I love that house, who built it for, and we send them our schematics and our plans, and they're like, why are you doing this? And we don't charge them. I'm like, because they have a parent.
Right.
Yeah.
We just had a phone call. They find our phone number
Yeah.
on the website. We had a phone call from Nebraska last week saying, hey, I saw this on YouTube. I love this house. I want to build it in Nebraska. And he goes, And Jim, was talking to him, and they're like, "We'll send you all our information we have."
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you serious?" Like, yeah.
And then he asked that question that I'm sure you guys get asked: what would you do different?
Yes.
And there are little things,
Yeah.
I mean,
We learn about everything
and you
we do.
tell them, yeah, you do.
And everybody wants a different home or different styles or whatever. So it again, you have the basics, make it your own,
Sure.
and that's perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that's the key to, I think that's the key to business success right there, is doing what you love, but having fun while you're doing it, but being willing to help
Definitely.
and take the help.
And take
Yeah.
help.
Yes.
Because people will help you. Yeah.
Definitely. Yes, because that's also even hard to ask for help.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to do it alone.
You do not have to do it alone.
What's my first question to when we building something out here, we're doing something, and we have a lot of great relationships we built with contractors or specialists or things like that. My first question is, what would you do? Because if it's your home, what would you do? And you usually get a pretty good response on that. Just like business, what would you do different, or what would you do? There's things we would have changed, but
Sure.
You do it.
Yeah.
I can tell you what we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have a website with the name Old World Garden Farms,
long.
38 letters long. But we didn't know that in 2010. So, our new websites like Make Your Meals and I Cook for Two, they're very short. They're very good. But
An OW Garden.
and OW Garden. But you learn those things, right? And
You do.
keep on going. I'm sure when you look back 5 years from last year when you started this, you'll almost laugh that you made it. Like, how? We didn't even, because we
Right.
do that. We laugh like, how? Well, I have said it before. I'll read an article that I wrote in 2012 or 13. I'm
This
like,
is terrible.
why did anybody even read this, And so it's kind of funny, and then I'll do the same thing about something in 2019, but that's just growing, it's
Yeah,
growing and
it is
maturing,
growing.
yeah. So, and we stay, I think the other thing that I always tell people is just calm and don't get overly excited. Things are going to work out.
Yeah, I will have to say at the Christmas market, you guys were calm. Sarah and I were panicking, kind
We've
of,
just
but
been
you guys
through
were
it.
calm.
We've been through it so many times, and that, if you're genuine,
Yeah.
I think
It's going to be okay.
and people
Yes.
people sense that.
Yes.
And so then they don't get overly excited about things. We gave a talk before one time, and I forget where we were, a lot of people, and they came up to us minutes before we went on. I mean, this is a big, like a couple thousand people. We have no mics for you.
Oh, no.
And we looked at him like, I said, I got a loud voice. And Mary said, well, I'll just go out through the crowd because they're not going to hear me. And you know what? It ended up being so fun.
Yeah.
But
Well, even our book signing, our first book signing.
Yes. Yeah.
We had it all set up. It was going to be a big event, and we had everything. Well, all of a sudden,
Somebody hit a power pole
somebody hit a power
downtown.
pole, and electricity all went out. So we had our book signing in the dark, and it was okay. And it wasn't completely dark, but we had a whole slideshow set up and all pictures, and we ran with it.
Yeah. And you just have to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't kill you,
It's okay.
and if it does,
This is
why were
really
you
good
worried?
advice.
I know, right?
I am like in my.
Yeah.
This is what keeps me up at night. Is the Christmas market configuration that kept me up
Oh,
at
sure.
night. And I was like, we're just gonna do it. And you know what? It was fine.
Yeah.
It was okay. And
You
it-
plan for backups, and,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
have to do that. You have to plan for backups. I mean, we're out in the middle of nowhere, so yes, we have backup generators for every building, so that something happens, we can have that. But there's a case that generator could go down. So what's your backup? And if you have a couple of those, and you get to your fourth backup, you're not worried anymore.
Yeah, you're like, whatever. I don't care.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I can count 1,000 times when there's been crisis that maybe for a lot of people they would have been like, and we just kind of look at each other and we're
Well,
like,
and I think,
what's our backup?
And I think how you handle it is a reflection to other people, how they react to
Right.
you.
Oh, definitely.
So if you are calm about it, or you can laugh about it, and you can laugh about your mistakes, and other people feel more comfortable with it, and so it's okay.
Yeah.
And help them. I mean, we've had things as much. We had a wedding here, and they called us a few hours before the wedding and said, our DJ's not showing up.
Our DJ just canceled.
And so they didn't, they knew what we would care about. So we called and I said, well, it's been a while. I can probably handle this. But it all worked out. They found some, but it's that answer of, it's okay. We're going to make this work. We have speakers in there. We can get it. If you can do those things for people and you do that in your own business and you don't get, I think that's for us too.
Yeah.
Like, don't get overwhelmed.
Right. It's
Yeah.
easy to get overwhelmed.
It is.
Oh.
So you got to step back and look, and you say, okay, what
Yeah.
really matters?
Yeah.
And go from there.
But we have each other to keep. I mean,
We
like
do.
if getting overwhelmed is really not our thing. But if one starts to worry too much or talk too much, I'm like, okay, it's
I got
like,
it.
yeah, and it works out. So
It's a good
Yeah.
partnership there.
Yeah, definitely.
Ray does the same for me. Sometimes I just stand there.
well, you need that. I mean, even if you don't have partners, you guys are partners and we're partners. But if you don't have that, you need to have somebody you can go to.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, not just to tell you it's going to be okay. Sometimes to tell you to get a grip.
Slap me.
Yep. I
Very
mean,
well put.
I can just whether it's building projects. We've been through it all. People are like, they say building a house together. If you can do that, you can get through anything. I think we've built now and we build all these buildings together, and it doesn't even faze us anymore. When someone comes to us, one of us will say, we know it. Like if you see a contractor on his phone, I'm like,
That's
okay,
not good.
something's going on. That's not going to be a good. And so you go out and you calm with them, and it all works out. You know, so it's
funny
good.
that you say if you can build a house together. In our neck of the woods, we say if you can work cows together.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. See, and isn't that for everybody? There's
Yeah.
always something, you know, or you're writing a book together was, I mean, for us, it was,
Yeah.
but it was, I mean, we had fun with it, you know, and yes, there were times when you're just like, oh, why'd we do this? But it was all fun. So that was good stuff. And we're, like I said, it's great to have you guys out here. It's great to be a part of the community. The whole reason we did the fair, that was 2023, I believe, right?
That would make sense.
I think
Yeah.
so.
And we had never been a local company to anybody.
Right.
And we just happened, Mary saw an ad and she said, why don't we just sponsor this? And it was hilarious because we went that day, we took your parents,
Yep.
and we just sat there, didn't say a word. We were in the stands watching something, and you could hear people say like, who is, they would read the banner, and I think we talked with Gino on the radio, and they're like, I never knew you guys, but we had no local, we weren't even open as a farm.
No.
We had nothing. We just wanted to do something to start, and we had these dreams. So that's how we did the fair that year, and now we've done several sponsorships for
CDC
yeah,
and different
CDC and things that are close to our heart, and we try to do that, and we try to do things just like when we have you guys here. That's fantastic. It's fun for the community. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's awesome.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Yes.
If anybody would like to visit any of your websites or look at any videos or pictures that you have or book with you, how does one go about
We're
it?
closed now. We don't like people. No.
This is an announcement.
No. It's real easy. You can always email us, and it's pretty easy. It's thefarm@owgarden.com, and then they can call us too. I'll let you give the phone number because I always mess it up.
Oh, yeah, 740.
309.
740-309-3811.
Yeah,
But the easiest way to find our websites, it's where all our information is about the farm as well, and booking.
Including the phone number and all.
Yeah, is at owgarden.com.
Yep, owgarden.com, and you'll go on there. It has all the farm stuff. It also has a listing of our sites, our YouTube channels, everything there. It also
Podcast.
has all the things we do for events. Has an event calendar on there. I think you guys are already listed for this year's Christmas market. That's the OW Garden has really become our hub, and that's where we kind of have everything.
Is that where folks can buy tickets to the dinners
Yep,
and everything
absolutely.
like that?
One-stop shop.
Yep, one-stop shop. It's the one website that we've had that address forever and kept it, and we didn't know why, and now we do.
Now we
Yeah.
OW, nice and short, owgarden.com.
Do you have any questions?
I don't
Random?
have
I have a
any.
random question.
You're the ones
I know,
that's supposed
I
to have the
know.
question at this
Okay,
time.
so I do really random questions that nobody knows what I'm going to ask, right?
Awesome.
But this one will be like, it'll be a good one because you guys have traveled so much. So out of every place that you have traveled, what's your favorite? It has to be one.
Oh yeah.
and you
Well,
have to
we
tell me
we
why.
have each one, and it's very close. And 1 and 2 are almost interchangeable for us. I'll let you. And I could pick yours as my number one.
It is very hard because honestly, when you travel, again, you see so many cool and good and things and so many unique things. But if I would say the best place that I have been is probably Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon, you can do so many things within 2 hours. You can go up on top of a mountain if you wanted to and go skiing. You could go to the coast. You could go hiking. It's very.
Probably
It's
hit 9 waterfalls or 10
Yeah,
waterfalls
yeah.
in an hour in
Yeah.
one park. Yeah, that was
Right.
crazy.
And they pump your gas for you there.
Hey,
There's a place
Yeah.
in Barnesville that does that.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Mar-
and I pulled into it one day, and this kid was coming to my car, and I was like,
What are you doing?"
What's the safety protocol?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Oregon's right there. For me, it was, and it's people. We were, that was Christmas. Remember, we were gone for a year, so it was kind of crazy that we told each of our kids they could pick 1 week, and we would fly them in with us, and they could go along the trail.
Nice.
And we told them, though, nobody's coming to Hawaii. So we're flying
Yeah.
there, and you're not coming
Fair,
with us. And they
fair.
joked, so they all picked different spots. But for us, it was just us, and it was right around Christmas time, and we were in New Mexico, and
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
yeah, and the people.
And being from the Midwest, we all have similar traditions for Christmas. So we all have ham
Turkey
or
or
turkey,
ham, yeah.
mashed potatoes, all that. In Las Cruces, New Mexico, they have tamales is their Christmas dinner. They have pozole soup.
And they get together and make tamale parties like we do cookie parties.
Yes.
Oh,
And so we were in a grocery store, and we got invited to one. So we went. We ended up on this trip meeting so many people and being in so many backyards and having so much fun. And like I said, that would be mine because and the temperature was beautiful. But Oregon, I'm telling you, it's right there. The best experience we had by far was getting to Oregon early in the trip. We were a little bit ahead, and we took the Amtrak from Portland all the way to LA.
That would be cool.
On the coast.
To the coast. And my favorite Mary story, can I tell it?
Sure.
So Mary is our director of travel. Even today, when we do anything, she's fantastic. She picks great Airbnb. So we're traveling on this train, and we're in the diner car, and I'm eating, just watching these beautiful views of California. And I go, so where are we staying in LA tonight? She goes, I found an up-and-coming area. It's called East LA. And everybody on the train is like, you guys are staying where? I go, Mary. And you know what? We ended up having a good time. It was a nice place.
It's revitalized.
She temporarily lost. She temporarily lost her great license at that point with me. She regained it after that. So but it was fun.
We're here to tell the story.
Yeah, and that trip, like I said, I believe that trip was this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to see so many different things and meet so many different
brought
people.
So many ideas back here from all these little things you see around here.
Well, we even met people. Peter, develops a Sudoku for the New York Times.
Oh, wow.
He was on our
the
train with us.
Yeah.
So we got to have lots of fun and meet lots of people.
And it was as many special people you met that are, some people would consider, this person's famous, like that. That was great, but it was all these people you'd never would imagine.
All the regular people and stuff like that.
Oh, we got invited to so many cool dinners. We always talk about doing it again. I don't know if I can sleep in that camper now at my advanced age.
We'd have to get a big Class A now.
Yeah, we would. We'd have to. Yep. But no, you know what? Like I said, that's a great question to ask, and we always have the same answer. If we were apart, we would say those same things, but. The whole trip in itself was just a learning experience and so much fun to meet. And we went back roads. We didn't do the traditional, we weren't there to just see this. We did some big things, but it was mainly seeing small things. I mean, we saw the world's largest hot pepper statue. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Not very many people can say that. I know I can't.
I haven't been there.
That's right. So.
Bree? Yours.
My favorite place that I have ever traveled would have to be Africa.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
We had friends invite us to do safari, and my husband and my oldest son also climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And we spent
That's incredible.
Yeah, so our friend, he's retired military, and he has a travel company over there, and so he was kind of like on the ground.
How nice
and
is that?
He knew the places to go, and he would take us to these places that were lodges, and it would be like a center thing with like how you guys have like lodges and like areas like this. So I see a lot of like places that we went to Africa, like what you guys have here too. But that would definitely, we went to this place called Adonio Langai volcano that was like by Lake Natron, which is like this alkaline lake that you can't like go into.
It's so crazy to see stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep. But we signed up for this volcano hike, and we have the guides there, and the little girl that's with us, she's like 11 at the time. She's like, "Is it dangerous?" And they were like, a little bit dangerous. And so what we did was we got up at, what time did we leave? We left at 10:30 at night. We hiked all night to see the sunrise at the top of the volcano.
That was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but the part that we forgot about was the coming down.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And so, typically when you go up a trail, there's a trail that takes you down that's like, you go switchbacks or whatever. Not this time. Ooh. We went straight up, then we went straight back down.
Man.
I ended up getting separated from the group and basically probably almost had heat stroke.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can imagine that.
And so it was an experience, but yeah, that was an experience. Mom survived the volcano hike, but overall I don't think that will ever be topped going to Africa.
That's our next bucket list is international travel more in the coming years, because it is. You learn so much from people, I'm sure.
And the culture there, the people were so accommodating. Like, they wouldn't let you lift a finger. Like, if you went to the front desk and wanted water, they would follow you to the room with the water on the tray and bring it to your room. And just, their culture and the meals and we stayed at this one, it was called Whisper Serengeti. We literally stayed in the Serengeti, and they had a kitchen, and everybody would come to the tent at 6:30 and we would eat together, and it's just whatever they made is what we ate.
That's awesome.
And we're in the middle of the Serengeti, so it's whatever they have is what we ate. Yep. And so honestly, that trip to Africa really kind of inspired me with the From Scratch Co-op, because these people in Africa were just selling their fruits and everything on the street.
cool.
And I'm just like, it was so crazy that they're so third world in the way of like not having infrastructure.
But they do that.
But the access to the fresh food is like unmatched.
Yep.
Crazy.
And so I really wanted to try to focus on bringing more fresh and local food to our community.
I think
And
that's-
that was
that's-
kind of one of the things that inspired that.
You know, whenever we've traveled, even today, we like to look for towns that have.
local.
That's the first place we go when they have farmers markets in
Yeah.
their town. I think of Somerville,
Yeah.
South Carolina. We go around the time when they're open because
Yes.
we know we want to go down and you're right,
Yes.
you get to know the vendors, and I think that's awesome. You guys brought that to here. So
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, what about you?
Okay, well, I'm not from Ohio originally, and so my favorite place is where I'm from. I'm from Montana.
Oh.
Did you travel Glacier?
No, we
No. Oh, no.
Well, here's the
This
thing.
is why-
Here's why. Here's
This
why.
is my bucket
Here's
list to
why.
go
It's-
back
we're
to.
going back because we planned this trip really carefully. We left in September.
Okay.
We drove all the way to Nebraska to start it so we could get through the West. They got an early snowstorm out there, so
September.
we had to go.
Yep.
We were in what was it?
Webo, Montana.
We had to stay in the lower portion, so
Okay.
we always feel like we got a little cheated out of.
You did.
Beautiful though.
But we're going
We're
back.
going back, yeah,
Yes,
because
you
that's
are going
that's
back.
high. Every
So
time
like-
somebody
I
says,
grew up right at the base.
so glad she
I
brought
don't, if
Glacier
you go to
up.
our Facebook page, I sent Bree a picture of us with our cows, and you can see East Glacier in the background.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
My parents love
Thanks for bringing that
Montana.
word up because every time we hear Glacier, she's like, "We are going back."
Yes.
Hey, listen, it's obviously worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
We just have to go early summer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
There was a couple places we got just pushed out of with that, but we got lucky on some other ones. But for the most part, we avoided. I just remember going up a mountain somewhere and there's like chain up. And I
Yeah.
looked at her and I, my truck and camper, and I go, "Well, we don't have any chains.
But we're
We
going up.
survived. We survived." So, yep.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Again, we want to thank you guys so much for
Thank you
taking
for having
time
us.
to
Thank
sit
you.
down with
Thank
us.
you.
This has been really fun. And thanks again for joining us for this episode of the From Scratch podcast. Our first opening day is June 20th. It's coming super soon. You can find all the info that you need on our Facebook page and on our website, fromscratchcoop.com.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you.